Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk and this is The Ordinary for Beginners. Now in this video I'm going to show you exactly how you can pick the right ordinary products based on your skin concerns. I'm also going to show you in what order you can use them, and then I'm also going to show you how you can put them in your morning and evening skincare routine. Now, when using the ordinary products, it is important that you're going to get started looking at your skin concerns before choosing the ordinary products, since the ordinary has specific treatments for specific skin concerns. So if you're not looking at your skin concerns at all and you're just going to pick the ordinary products randomly or what's currently famous, it may not work for your skin concerns and then can do more harm than good. So therefore, it is important to get started with your skin concerns. Sit down, look into a mirror. What do you want to improve? What do you want to change within your skin? What do you want to treat? And I want to use myself as an example, as you can see right here. And I wrote down my skin concerns. Now my skin type is a combination skin. I get a few blemishes here and there that come and go. I also do suffer from redness. And I want to prevent fine lines and wrinkles. Those are my skin concerns, and based on that I'm now going to show you how you can pick the right products for those skin concerns. And you can do the same with your own face as well, and then go ahead and choose the right products. Now we need to get started with the Ordinary website. And as you can see right here, I'm now on the Ordinary official website. I'm also going to put the link in the description box down below. And here you can also see that on one side right here, they have different guides. Now the one that we want to know about, which is also the most important to get started with ordinary products, is also their regimen guide. Under their regimen guide, you will not only find all the products, what they do, how you should use them, and also in what order, but it also will give you a brief overview of the products in general that can help you to figure out which one you should pick and then also when you should use it. Now it also says regimen guide, which means it's going to guide you to set up your skincare routine. And they also give you a brief explanation right here on the top, which if you're reading it for the first time and you're new to the Ordinary website, this may sound very confusing. So therefore I went ahead and I broke it down so that you also have a better understanding of it. Now the Ordinary has also different skincare treatments that have different formulations, which are important to understand, otherwise it makes no sense when it comes to the proper layering. And so they have water-based serums, they have anhydrous solutions, they have oil formulations, they also have creams, suspensions and sunscreens. So those are the different formulations that the Ordinary offer, and they are also really specific about them. That's why you have to remember their general rule of thumb, which starts off from the thinnest texture to the thickest. Therefore, you are going to get started with their water-based serums. Then you're moving on to the anhydrous solutions, then oil formulations, and then lastly the creams and suspensions and your sunscreen in the morning. This is the order of application. And once you memorize this, once you keep this in your head, layering the different ordinary products will become so easy because you understand the general rule of thumb on how to layer their different formulations. What's also important is that if you have more than one water-based serum, which can happen depending on your skin concern, you can apply them based on your priority of your concern. And the products that targets the most important concern should go first. Also, use a maximum of 3 serums formulations in a single regimen, which basically means only use 3 little bottles in one routine, which can be any sort of formulation. This can be a water-based serum, this can be an anhydrous solution like serum, this could also be an oil. It doesn't have to be those 3 specific formulations in one routine. You can also use 2 water-based serum and an oil. You still have 3 bottles. So just remember yourself on it that you should not use more than 3 of those little bottles in one routine. If you have more than those 3 little bottles, you may want to put them into a morning and evening skincare routine. This can also help you to make sure that the product can penetrate best into your skin and you're not going to use too much in one routine. And always apply sunscreen to all skin that's not covered by clothing. And remember, your neck, face, ears, top of your feet and legs. So now that you have an overview of the basic, and also now understand how you can properly use the different formulations, in what order you should also apply them, I now want to get started with the ordinary products. Now for this, first of all, if you're going to scroll down a bit more, you can also see those little icons. Those little icons are really important because those will be shown above each product, and it also will tell you what it basically can do for your skin, like how you should use it, as well as if you should avoid certain areas or not, or if you also should use sun protection on it or not. Because some of the ordinary products can make your skin sensitive to the sun, therefore it is also important to then also use sunscreen to protect the skin, so that you are not experiencing an irritation or getting sunburned. So first of all, you have a little sun. This means use in the morning. You have the moon, this means use in the evening. You have also an eye that basically says for eyes. This means that you can use it on the eye contour. Then you also have an eye with a line across. This means avoid any contact with eyes, so please don't get it into your eyes. And then also the UV protection symbol, which is then also recommended depending also on the product you're choosing. Now here you can also see the different categories. You have antioxidants, cleansers, direct acids, and under those categories, the Ordinary has also listed the specific products that also belong to that specific category. If you aren't sure where you should start, you may just want to click through the different categories, have a look through them, like scroll through them, see what they do, to get a feel of it so that you also understand their categories. Which is really important because at the beginning it can be overwhelming because you don't know where to look at. So click on them all to have a general understanding of where they have put which products. Now, if you're going to click on one category, I'm going to stick with the first one to give you also an example. It's basically the antioxidants category. And currently the Ordinary has 3 antioxidants, and those are also listed under that specific category. So they have listed the products depending also on their category, what fits in that category the best. Now here you have EUK 134. EUK is an antioxidant, and you can see right here it has a sun and a moon, which means that you can use it in the morning and evening. Now you don't have to use it only in the morning and evening. You can also just use it once per day. This depends on your preference as well as your concerns. But it will tell you with those little signs, as well as also right here on the bottom when it comes to the time of use, when you can use them. Then with each category and with each product, it always will tell you the same format right here. It always will tell you what it targets, the format, which basically means what formulation it is, the regimen steps, conflicts, and time of use. This will be the same with any of the other products. And what's really important is that you understand those terms. Basically what it targets means if you have a specific skin concern, such as I, for example, have it with the redness, this would already be a great match because it targets redness. That's one of my skin concerns. So this is how you can also remember what targets means. Then it also says the format, which is the formulation. In this case, it's an anhydrous solution. Then the regimen step, which isn't as important if you remember the general rule of thumb, which goes with their water-based serums, anhydrous solutions, oil formulations, creams, and suspensions. So if you know the general rule of thumb, you keep this in mind, the regimen step becomes less relevant. Then you also have the conflicts. This is also one of the important parts that you have to keep in mind, because it will tell you with what you should not use it in the same routine. So if I'm going to use EUK in one routine, I should not use it with the products or categories they list right here. And then a time of use. Now I just want to give you an idea of what the format means. So in this case, it means anhydrous solution. Remember this. Then if I'm going to have a look at the direct acids, then it also, for example, will say right here with glycolic acid, the format is a water-based serum. Then, for example, with azelaic acid suspension, the format is a suspension. Then, if I'm going to scroll down even further with the hydrators and oils, the first oil right here will tell you the format is an oil. And this also brings me back again to that general rule of thumb where you can remember to start off with your water-based serums, anhydrous solutions, oil formulations, creams and suspensions, and your sunscreen. So once you keep this in mind, it's so easy to set up your skincare routine and know how you can properly use them in the right order. So it will be the same with any category. It also will be the same with any of the other products. It always will tell you what it does. It always will tell you what formulation it is, how you should use it, and when you should use it. So now I want to get started with the first step to start off with my skincare routine. Now the first step in the morning and evening skincare routine is always the cleanser. You need to have a clean and freshly washed face before moving on to anything that you're going to leave on the skin. So therefore we're going to click on the category cleansers. Currently The Ordinary has only one cleanser, which is their squalane cleanser. Again, it will tell me that I can use it in the morning and evening. It targets makeup removal, but it also can help you to remove any excess oil, dirt, makeup and sunscreen. This basically already tells you how strong it is, that it can basically remove everything. It is also suitable for all skin types. It has a balm-like texture, which turns then into an oil-like formulation, and you should use it before any creams, oils and serums. It has no conflicts and you can use it in the morning and evening. Now if you're going to click on the product itself as well, it also will give you more information about that specific product, which you can read through. It also will give you the directions on how you should use that specific product so that you have a better understanding of what that specific product does. You can do this with any of the other products under their regimen guide. So the cleanser is the first one that I'm going to pick. So I'm going to put this one as my first product that I'm going to use in my morning routine. And to keep it even simpler, this is also my first step, which I'm going to use in my evening skincare routine. Now the next step is going to be the serums for my morning routine. So I don't have to use 3 specific serums. I can, but I don't have to. This is individual. This depends on your skin concerns. However, I want to get started with also the First Ordinary serum. Now with the First Ordinary serum, I'm going to go towards the hydrators and oils. Since I have a combination skin, the Ordinary does not have specific products for specific skin types. However, if you need hydration or if you want to use an oil, they have a category that's called hydrators and oil. This is not specific about a skincare type. Skin type. It's not about the skin type. It is about if you need hydration or not. And they have the different oils, and I want to use something that also targets hydration. And I want to use a water-based serum. So, when it comes to their water-based serums that are going to add hydration to the skin, I have also a choice between the amino acids, hyaluronic acid, and marine hyaluronics. Now, which one you're going to pick is also based on your choice. And you can also, for example, go ahead and use also hyaluronic acid and amino acids in the same routine. That's totally fine. Those are 2 water-based serums, that's fine. You can also use up to 3 products that have the same formulation in a routine. You don't have to use different formulations. But I'm going to keep it fairly simple, and I'm going to stick with the Ordinary hyaluronic acid, which also targets hydration. It is a water-based serum, and you should use it before any oils and creams. It also has no conflicts, and I can use it in the morning and evening if I want to. So that's going to be my first serum. I want to give you a great example on how you can properly layer them. Therefore, for my morning routine, I'm going to stick with 3 serums so that you also will see the correct order. So the water-based serum is my hyaluronic acid. Now I'm looking for an anhydrous solution, and one of my concerns is also redness. So I showed you already earlier with the antioxidants. EUK targets redness, plus it's also an anhydrous solution, which means that I would use it after hyaluronic acid. And then lastly, I also want to use an oil so that you have a better understanding of it. And I'm going to use an oil that also targets dehydration, as well as that's non-comedogenic, because I can get blemishes here and there. And therefore I decide to also go with the Ordinary 100% plant-derived squalane, which is also an oil that targets dehydration, and you should use it after your water-based serums in the morning and evening, depending on your preference. So if I'm going to put this now into my routine, it would look something like this. I'm going to get started with hyaluronic acid. Then I'm moving on to EUK, and then I'm going to move on to the formulation. So this is basically how you can properly layer 3 different bottles in one routine. How you can also properly layer them depending on their formulations. And now I'm going to move on to the next step, which is my moisturizer and or a suspension. Now when it comes to my moisturizer, which I wanted to add to my skincare routine as well to also help me with the hydration, I'm already under the category of hydrators and oils, as you can see right here. And so I'm already in the right category. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down all the way down until it says the natural moisturizing factors. The Ordinary has only one moisturizer, which is the natural moisturizing factors. Again, you can use it in the morning and evening, depending on your preference. It targets hydration, and you should use it as your last step of your skincare routine as a moisturizer before you're going to apply your sunscreen and makeup. It has no conflicts, and yes, again, can be used in the morning and evening. So this is going to be my second last step in my morning skincare routine. So now I'm coming nearly to an end. I'm not going to add a suspension into this routine. I showed you what a suspension is. The Ordinary products will tell you based on the formulation if it's a suspension or not. If you're going to use a suspension instead, or if you want to use a suspension as well, you can use it before and after your moisturizer, or you can skip the moisturizer and replace it with the suspension. Now my last step is going to be the sunscreen. Now the Ordinary has sunscreens as well. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the ones that they currently have, but they're also working on the new ones. But they aren't released yet. So therefore, I recommend that you're going to stick with your sunscreen that you're going to use in the morning to one that you really like, that you really enjoy. And the one that I'm going to pick is also basically the Ultra MD UV Facial Broad Protection with SPF 30. That's the sunscreen that I'm going to pick. If you want to use a different one that you truly love, go ahead and use that one. So now you have a clear overview on how you're getting started and also how you can properly layer the different products depending on their formulation. And it's going to be the exact same with your evening skincare routine. It may be the same, your morning routine can be the same than your evening routine, depending on your skin concerns or how simple you want to keep it. But you can also use your morning routine and change your evening routine so that you have 2 separate routines that target multiple concerns, since you can only use 3 little bottles in one routine. So now one concern that we haven't talked about, which I also did mention, are also the blemishes as well as some anti-aging benefits. So that's what I'm mainly going to focus in my PM skincare routine. And to keep it simple, I'm also going to stick with the same cleanser since Ordinary has only one, which is a squalane cleanser. And now I'm moving on to the next step, which in this case is a leave-on exfoliant. The Ordinary has different acids that can exfoliate your skin, basically shed off any dead skin cells to reveal smoother skin and other benefits, depending also on what leave-on exfoliant you're going to choose. They also have exfoliating masks, which are different from the leave-on exfoliants. But I want to give you a general understanding with the Ordinary acids. Now, they have a category that's called direct acids. This is where you will only find the acids that are going to exfoliate your skin. Depending on your skin type and your skin needs, you may want to use either an AHA or BHA. Now, an AHA can be basically, as it already says right here, with a peeling solution. This is a mask. It says AHA as well as BHA. Now, AHAs are great if you have dehydrated skin, if you have dry skin that's not sensitive. If you have extremely sensitive skin, please do not use any AHAs because those can burn and sting on the skin. However, if you have dry skin that's not sensitive, if you have dehydrated skin and you're looking for anti-aging benefits or sun-damaged skin, look for AHAs such as glycolic acid, lactic acid, and mandelic acid. Those are the Ordinary AHAs. If you have oily skin, if you have like breakouts, if you have blackheads, if you have whiteheads, you have also a sensitive skin, look for salicylic acid, which is BHA. Now the Ordinary has a salicylic acid mask as well as a salicylic acid solution. However, the salicylic acid solution is currently not available. And so therefore, if you want to use a salicylic acid product from the Ordinary, I recommend the mask. Now the mask is different from the leave-on exfoliators. With their mask, it always will tell you that in the regimen step, use as a mask and rinse off. And if you're going to click on the mask itself, it will tell you more about that specific product. The same also goes with the peeling solution. Those are masks that you're going to rinse off. However, as lactic acid is a suspension, this is not in this case a leave-on exfoliant and also a water-based serum. This is a suspension which you're going to use after, pretty much at the end, either before or after your moisturizer, or also skip your moisturizer totally and replace it with that step. This is when you're going to use a suspension. But the ones that we all wanted to target and talk about is also, for example, lactic acid 5%. That's the one that I'm going to pick. Why? Because it targets uneven tone, textural irregularities and fine lines. And I did mention that as for my skin concerns, I want to choose something that can also help me to prevent getting any fine lines and wrinkles. So therefore I'm going to stick with lactic acid 5%. Now it also will tell you exactly how you should use this product. Again, right here on the top you have the moon, which means use in the evening. It is preferred in the evening because any of the direct acids from the Ordinary exfoliate the skin and can make your skin sensitive to the sun. Therefore it's recommended to use it in the evening. Do not get it into your eyes and use sun protection the next day to make sure that you're not getting sunburned or damage your skin even further. So this is where sunscreen is really important. Now, they have lactic acid 5% and 10%. Which one should you choose? Well, if you're new to acids, I recommend starting off with the lowest percentage, in this case 5%. See how your skin tolerates it before moving on to the higher percentage. This is what I can generally recommend. So I'm going to stick with the 5%. Again, it tells me that it's a water-based serum. It is a leave-on exfoliant, which means you should not wash it off. And you're going to use it before oils and creams. And then again, keep in mind the conflicts. Do not combine, in this case, with direct acids, peptides, retinoids, vitamin C, niacinamide powder or EUK. Now remember, I used in my morning routine EUK. So it's good that I used it in the morning routine because I couldn't use it in the evening, because lactic acid and EUK do not do well if you're going to use them in the same routine. So therefore separate them. So as my next step, I'm going to use lactic acid. Now, how often you're going to use a leave-on exfoliant depends on your skin. Some people prefer to use it only 2 to 3 times per week, whereas other ones can use it daily. This depends on your skin, like if you are more resistant, if you have sensitive skin, how often your skin needs to be exfoliated, which also can depend. So I recommend starting off slowly before using it more frequently. However, if you want to know more about how you can use, for example, the Ordinary lactic acid 5%, I can also put a video in the top right corner so that you also can check it out. Now the next step is going to be my serums. Now one of the targets or concerns that I haven't talked about is also my blemishes. Now I wanted to also use something that can help me to reduce the look of blemishes, since I do not really have strong acne, but I just get pimples here and there. And so one of the products that can also help you to reduce the look of blemishes is also niacinamide. They have a niacinamide powder if you like to mix it, which is a bit more advanced. However, if you want to keep it fairly simple, use the Ordinary niacinamide serum. Now I do want to be very specific, the Ordinary does not have acne treatments. If you have really strong acne, look for a specific acne treatment from your doctor. I do not recommend using the Ordinary products to treat your acne because it's not going to help you to kill that bacteria. So therefore keep this in mind, the Ordinary so far has no acne treatments. Now I'm going to stick with the Ordinary niacinamide. Why? Because it can regulate the sebum, minimizes the pores, as well as reduce the look of blemishes. If you're going to click again of each product, then you also will find out more about each product. It is a water-based serum. You should use it before oils and creams. It also will tell you the conflicts. Do not use it with any vitamin C products, and you can use it in the morning and evening. Now I decided to use niacinamide in the evening only. And this is going to be the only serum that I'm going to use in the evening. I'm not going to use any other water-based serum. I'm not going to use any anhydrous solution or oil. I'm just going to stick with niacinamide. And as my moisturizer, again, I'm going to stick with the ordinary natural moisturizing factors, same as I also already use in the morning, to keep the routine fairly simple, but still very effective depending on the skin concerns. And then lastly, as your fifth step, there's no sunscreen needed because you're going to use this routine in the evening. So this is how you can figure out what products you should choose depending also on your skin concerns, as well as how you can also properly layer them and how you can also come up with a skincare routine. Of course, Ordinary has other categories as well, such as the peptides, which are also great for anti-aging. The Ordinary has also retinoids, as well as also their vitamin C products. But choosing them depends on your skin concerns. Not everyone will use the same products. Therefore, it is very individual and you should listen to your skin as well as check your skin concerns before choosing the Ordinary products. And with this video, I do hope that I could help you out to find the right products, where you will find that information and how you can set up your skincare routine. At the end of this video, you will find videos where I'm also actually going to apply them on my face, so that you understand at first how you can properly set it up, and then we can talk about the applications, how much you should use of each product and how you can properly apply them so that it also feels comfortable on the skin. So if you want to know more about the application, check the videos at the end of this video. Now if you enjoyed this video, please also don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And thank you so much for watching and listening to me, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring! Bye!